Right, welcome. What up? Welcome to Occult Topics with the Professor. This right here is going to be a lightweight unboxing. I got a few books here, maybe two, three, maybe about six books. Before I crack them open, I always like to say thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sliding through, rocking with me, especially if you're a serious reader, a serious researcher. Uh, I know myself. I'm always looking for tips. If somebody drops a good book, sounds interesting, I'm gonna jump on it. Before I get started, though, I want to say this. I'm certain somebody's looking like, man, this dude is just buying books to be buying books, and absolutely not. Um, the reason why I've been getting so many books lately, I was on a 90-day project, uh, working 12 hours a day with one day off every 2 weeks. So I knew I was going to be banked up. And I gave myself a $150 limit a week for books. That's what I chose to treat myself. So out of every paycheck, I stacked the rest, paid bills, stacked the rest. And 150 was for me to buy books. And so what I did to take advantage of this opportunity, I tried to order books that I'd always been wanting, books that had been on my list for years. And then, of course, you've seen from the drops, I fucks with Travis Majors heavily. So the books he dropped, I definitely got. So out of these books I got right here, like I said, maybe five or six books. I'm expecting one more, and then that's it. I won't be getting any more books anytime soon because right now, uh, doing my tarot correspondence, I'm reading like 17 books at one time from cover to cover. I'm also doing a lot of research on Saturn. So currently, I'm reading about seven other books on Saturn at the same time. Well, not the same. The Saturn books I'm not reading at the same time. I'm reading book by book by book, and I've been knocking out maybe a book a week because what I do is I take a book to work, and then on my first break, I eat my lunch, and then my 30-minute lunch is for reading and studying and stuff like that. And then last break, I do a little more reading. So I managed to get in, and I get to work an hour early. I get to work an hour early so I can meditate before I get my day truly started. And then I do a little reading before I go in. So I get to work a little over an hour early. I get to work about 4:30. I don't start till 6. So that just shows, for me, that's letting me know how serious I am about getting this work in. So having said that, you know what? I want to drop one more thing before I start doing the unboxings. Um, if you're a serious reader like myself, you're gonna have books on your shelf that you probably have only looked through. Some you probably haven't. So you're saying to yourself, how am I going to read all these books? I just told you the extreme measures that I go through. And then when I get off work, if it's not too much going on in the house, my wife want to talk or the kids want to talk or whatever's going on, then I'll read some more about an hour before I go to bed. I've dropped in a previous video that I've set my intent to read in the astral. That may sound high tech and advanced, but it's actually not. Um, Before you go to bed, you place a book under your pillow, and you, in your mind, as you're drifting off to sleep, not when you first lay down. When you first lay down, your mind's still running off what you did today. I got to do this. I'm going to do that. As you feel yourself start to get sleepy, you just hold the image in your mind of you reading that book. Now, what I usually do is I'll open it up and go through page by page. I might even waft the pages into my face. Waft yeah, that might be the better word. But yeah, I'll do something, flip through the pages. I'll even look at them because I know that my subconscious mind, my unconscious mind is capturing everything around me, everything. So I will flip through the book page by page, especially if it has images in it. I stop, look at the image, flip through it, tuck that sucker under my bed, under my pillow. And then as I go to sleep, I envision myself reading that book. And when I meditate, sometimes when I meditate to reinforce, because this is something I set in place just 2022, over 6, 7 years ago. But I will go in every now and then to reinforce the fact that I'm reading these books in astral. Now, am I actually reading these books in astral? To some degree, because all this information gets pulled down anyway. However, What this is doing is programming my mind, my subconscious mind and my conscious mind to say, I'm going to read these books. And so that's what I do. Now, going into the astral to read, I've gotten my confirmations from different dreams, to be honest. I've had dreams where a lucid dream where I stepped into one of my dreams and watched myself studying. Actually, I had one of the more vivid ones. I was lucid, but I wasn't watching myself. I was in the dream. So I stepped into this dream and I was like a monk. I was in how the monks had those cells that were like no windows, had candles burning. I was sitting there reading the book. And one of my good friends, Devin Whitmore, aka Conkeys World, she stepped into the dream. And she was just like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm studying. She was like, are you okay? And I had to think about it. And she was like, why don't you just put the book down? So for me, that was confirmation of several things. The main thing was, yeah, I'm putting that work in the astral, but also you can actually burn yourself out, and that happens. So just be mindful. If I want to drop that little tip, if you meditate, even if you don't meditate, like I said, it's something you can use your imagination. And as you go to sleep, you see yourself doing it. And trust me, it definitely will impact your dreams. So without further ado, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe. We're about to get into this lightweight unboxing. Now, like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure what these books are. I'm expecting one more. I know what that one is. It's a Travis Mays' recommendation. Oh, and if you're wondering, man, why it's so dark? Because Alex Winslow got on me and said, man, you recording your videos off a flip phone. Nah, it's been hot out here in Cali. So I got as many lights off as possible. I got the door open behind me, and it's dark because it's been hitting 106, 111 out here. So let's see what this one is. This is from, I don't know. Could be Amazon, could be Book Depository. I've been getting ordered a lot of books from Book Depository, which Amazon will shoot you to. So let's see what's happening with this book. I got Cali rocking in the back. Om Klim Kali Kaye Namo Namaha. Oh, this is, as you'll notice from like the last 2 or 3 of my unboxings, this is a Travis Mages recommendation. Now, if you rock with Trav already, you know what he's about. I've been rocking with this brother for some years now, back when he used to be sitting in his living room discussing the Croatia, right? But I like the way this brother is progressing spiritually, and he's helping me to advance by leaps and bounds. So when he drops a book, if I see a book in the background while he's panning his camera, I order it. Have I read them all? No. Will I? Yes. Like I just said, after this next book, I'm not ordering any more books. I'm doing research and I'm studying because I was supposed to drop my next book. I say supposed to. A lot of people are going to be disappointed. I was supposed to drop my follow-up book to the occult meaning the Masonry, symbols in the chakra system in September, which I was progressing quite nicely. I was moving towards it, had everything together. And I just realized I'm not going to rush this process any more than I'm going to rush myself. So the necessary reading that needs to be done is going to be done. So after this last book I'm going to receive, which should get here sometime next week, after that, no more books for a while. So this is Meditations from the Tantra. And in here, he just mentioned briefly how there's some bomb meditation techniques in here. Now, mind you, think of the synchronicity. I just dropped meditation techniques, and then I got this book. And I literally, when I do my unboxings, I don't drop all the books that I get because I order these books and they come in droves, right? I actually just set them aside and I grab a few and do it, grab a few. These are actually the last few that have been sitting on the side of my bed. And I knew that I had one more coming. So that's that. Now, anybody that knows know what this is. Now, this is the closest it's going to come to like adult book point. Amazon is is a beast in terms of delivery. Now, I will say this: with everything going on, when I say everything going on, the Queen Elizabeth, uh, she transitioned up out of here. Most likely, she's been gone. But let me just say this: with everything going on, Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon, actually responded to a tweet. Now, the name of the person, her name appeared to be either African or most likely it was African. And she had no love for the queen. She considered her a colonizer and, all the barbarous things that she most likely, I ain't gonna even say most likely, that she did. Well, not personally, but under her reign and definitely had her approval. Well, Jeff Bezos got on there and kind of like lightweight blasted her. And I read a lot of the tweets, those for and against. And I'll be honest, I found myself kind of at a conundrum, more so because I get a lot of stuff from Amazon and I appreciate the efficiency and the convenience of Amazon. But for him to make the statement that he did uh, is amazing, especially considering that Amazon workers are treated like uh, like sweatshop workers. People got to pee in bottles because they don't have enough time to go to the bathroom. So it was mind blowing. So I had to, even though I found myself at the middle, I found peace with it by telling myself that number one, I'm gonna separate the man from the means that are provided. Uh, he's just a conduit. I could care less about his personal politics. It's fucked up what he's doing to those people who are employed under his flag, but that's the nature of life. I hate to say but, I should have said however, that is the nature of life. But I just thought it was odd that this dude is a fucking billionaire. He's taking time out to respond to somebody's tweet. That's mind blowing. Because I'll say this before I even open this book up. I get a lot of people who tell me, how you know those books not that you read not weren't written by agents, and I don't have to read. I get all mine downloads. I don't have to read nothing. And I would say I would call bullshit. I say that because if you don't have to read and you're getting all this from downloads from the ethers and divine entities are blessing you with this information, you would have no time, no inclination to comment on anything I post, anything I share on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever, because you would be of a different mindset. Because before the first book was written, somebody did bring this information down. That much I agree with. But if you on social media combating me, or you feel, you know what I'm saying? I call bullshit. Because if you was there, you'd be in a whole different space. You would realize how temporal all this is. You would know that this information is eternal. It doesn't require me to speak on it or anybody else. So, I just thought that was amazing. And the same logic applies to Jeff Bezos. You're a fucking billionaire and you're defending a dead woman who definitely did all the shit she's accused of. I mean, I say accused of, whether she's a reptilian and all that, I'm sure there's somebody who has a dozen 17-hour videos on the topic. But I'm just saying, in terms of her atrocities towards humanity, that is not in question. Oh, now I have several of Joseph Campbell's books. And this is Joseph Campbell, Thou Art That. You know what? My bad. Let's back it up. Let's go through this Tantra book a little taste before I go through the Joseph Campbell book. Joseph Campbell's a beast. Meditations from the Tantras by Swami Satyananda Saraswarti. His dedication in humility, we offer this dedication to the Swami Sivananda Saraswati, who initiated Swami Satyananda Saraswati in the secrets of yoga. So he gave it up to his master, his guru, his mentor. So here we have the theory of meditation, which is dope because there's a lot of different ways. Me personally, I've discovered how to get to that state, but I'm always looking for tips and techniques on how to go deeper into the meditation. So the theory of meditation, what is meditation, science, spirit, and meditation. Chapter 3, meditation and health. Chapter 4, yoga, psychics, physiology. Chapter 5, reprogramming your mind. Chapter 6, yoga philosophy. Chapter 7, the system of Raja Yoga. You know what? Let me put my phone on silent because I can guarantee you that someone is going to call me. And I'm going to turn the ring volume down to brizzle. Let's vibrate for non-Californians. Um, uh, Chapter 7, the system of Raja Yoga. Chapter 8, other forms of yoga. Preparation for yoga. Oh, this is dope. So first he took you through the theory. First he takes you through the theory, then he prepares you for meditation, and then it's the practices. And after practices, yeah, we're getting down. So in the preparation, we have general instructions and suggestions, meditation poses. Chapter 11, mudras and bandhas. Chapter 12, pranayama, breathing techniques. So this is a Travis Majors recommendation, and that was more than enough for me. Now, in this Joseph Campbell book, Thou Art That, it is actually on the topic of transforming religious metaphor. Now, that's something that I feel as though I need to add to my repertoire. And I would say that numerous others need it because a lot of people cannot decipher metaphor. We live in such a conscious world. We ignore the unconscious and the subconscious that most people accept metaphor as reality. Like every Sunday on social media, you get all these people saying Jesus is not real. He didn't walk on water. How was Jesus created? And it was just the Yahweh and the Holy Spirit. There needed to be a female involved. Well, these are actually metaphors, not meant to be taken literally, any more than if you say that the masculine is positive and the female is negative. That's not to say that the physical representation, the genders, are negative and positive, et cetera, et cetera. So I got this, even though that's a concept that I totally understand and rock with. I got this so I can explain it to all those people who jump on my social medias and even in my comments on YouTube. And how you gonna say the woman is negative? Woman is the giver of life. I'm not talking about the physical aspects of women. I'm talking about that divine, what we call the divine feminine, divine masculine. These are archetypes. These are not instances of gender. Now we have one more. Well, not one more. There's another after this. Now this, I have a good idea what it is. I believe this is for my tarot correspondences. Ooh, I want to give it up. Any way to open it up? Might as well get a knife or something. Here we go. So I believe this is for my tarot correspondences that I've been doing. I am enamored. That's the word I'm going to use. I am enamored with Paul Foster Case and his, good Lord, they made sure this sucker wasn't coming open. Paul Foster Case, I like how he breaks down tarot as opposed to Arthur A.E. Waite. Arthur A.E. Waite, no knock on you, even though you did put up little blinds and, misdirection here and there, but that was to separate the wheat from the chaff. That was to separate the real from the fake. I get it. However, even as a researcher myself, I do not ascribe to the baby bird concept, but I need a little more meat. Like they say, meat is for man, milk is for babes. That man is a little too obtuse for me, and I live in this age where we're in the information age. So just provide me with the information, and I'll do the rest. So I'm not knocking A.E. Waite, but what I am saying is that some of his work is a little too obtuse for me. So having said that, I choose to someone like Paul Foster Case, who gives you just a little more information, but still leaves you with enough room to do the work. So I was correct. This is what it is. And I ordered that through Amazon, but it came through a separate vendor. So this is Man Know Thyself, Builders of the Aditium Tarot. Seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Oh, this is the black and white tarot cards. And the purpose of this is for you to color it in yourself, which I am certain will impact my gnosis, my knowledge of self. So let's flip through these a little taste. Okay. We'll start here, most likely. So, this is dope. So yeah, he gives you these blank cards, and then you color them in yourself. On the back of here, he has, let me get this over here. On the back of here, we have patterns of the trestle board, the truth about self, all the power that ever was. I'll hold this up for a little bit if anybody wants to screenshot it. All right. And then from there, we have the image of the tree, which has the different paths. So you can color the tree, and then you can color the different paths. And then we come to the Fool, completely black and white. And so it's for me to do the work. And this will help me to lock in my understanding because, of course, in Tarot, the color, the symbology, as well as the symbology, the Hebrew letters, but even the color plays a very important part in understanding what each of those keys are trying to tell you. And then what I have here, this is also from the Builders of the DTM, Paul Foster Case. This, I'm not sure what this is, I'll be honest. This might be the colored deck by him. And it is not. Oh, it's another black and white deck, which is okay. Had no idea this is what I ordered, but all good. So that one's a bigger one. This is a smaller one because I remember wanting one of his colored decks, but apparently I just ordered a smaller set. And these are, this right here, this one deck is the major arcana, and here we have the minor arcana. So either way, lots of homework, something I don't mind doing. And he inside here is most likely the highlights of Tarot, Builders of the Aditium. It's Bota, B-O-T-A. And it says that this is dedicated to every brother, and I'm going to add sister, who seeks LVX, lux or light. And he starts it off with a nice quote. It says, "Hearken, O Israel, unto my voice, and give ear to mine instruction. My word shall go before thee as a pillar of fire by night, and as a pillar of cloud shalt thou follow it by day. Turn not aside, not nor faint, and it shall lead thee to the land of plenty, flowing with milk of life eternal, and the honey of unblemished wisdom." From the book of tokens. Oh, I gotta get that. I just said we'll get no more books. But this man actually has a book of tokens, Dr. Paul Foster Case, something I will be getting. So this is just a little book that he gave, highlights of Tarot. I see that it covers the major arcana, and it tells you, it has highlights for coloring. So I just complained about weight giving me too much homework and how Paul Foster Case don't give me as much. I thought I ordered a colored deck as well as one I had to color. I know I ordered 2 decks to be colored, but it's all good. Most likely, I will gift one of these to someone, and I'll probably keep the bigger one. You know what I didn't get? I had ordered off of Facebook. Saw some tarot cards on, not Facebook, on Instagram. I saw some tarot cards that like that like had the explanations on them, and I thought that'd be a nice beginner pack, you know. Even though I have beginner packs, I just thought that'd be something nice to start getting myself in the habit of a cheat sheet, more or less, a cheat sheet. Now let's see what's in here. And yet another Amazonian. We're working with. Now these, I have no idea what these are. I'll be totally honest. Oh, shall we remix? Huh. All right. So we'll get into it. This first one, Understanding the Tarot Court, Mary Kay Greer and Tom Little. This is about all of the court cards in Tarot, which as I'm progressing right now, I'm on the major arcana. I want to lock in that understanding. Then I'm going to go to just the court cards to lock in that understanding, along with the books I have on understanding the minor arcana as well. Anybody that knows me, I love Kabbalah. And I won't even say I love it like that. This system found me, and I haven't let go. And that's the nature of what we call consciousness or spirituality today. There are those who feel drawn to the Orishas. Others are drawn to like the Nordic pantheon, you know, Odin, Zeus, Loki, Freya, all that. Some are drawn to the Japanese pantheon, so on and so forth. For me, uh, Kabbalah came to me in a dream. And I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. And so I read the Bible a lot. And when Kabbalah did come to me, at first I was just like, how is it that I never knew anything about this? You know, it's one of those moments. And so for me, it's been a never-ending journey. Now, this book right here, remember I showed you in the Builders of the Aditya in the Tarot pack, there was the card with the Tree of Life. Find it. This card with the Tree of Life. You see all the different paths and the different sephira to be colored in. Well, each path is represented by a tarot card as well as a Hebrew letter and an element. And so this, people don't realize how expansive Kabbalah is. Either they don't like Jews, or they say that this is our information. So, you know, this is my DNA. I'm melanated. I'm a carbon-based being, you know. But Kabbalah clearly is an all-encompassing system. And through this system, you can pull any other god, goddess, elemental spirit, element, any combinations of 3 or 4 or 7 or 10. You know, you can, it's an amazing system. So I have this, although I also have Dolores Ashcroft's book on the paths. Dolores Ashcroft Norwicki, I also have her book. This is The Shining Paths. But still, there's something you're into, you can never get enough information on the topic. And now, what you have to be careful of are those bogus people who write a book and ain't telling you shit. You might have wasted your money on it, but you won't know until you buy it and find out. Which is why I kind of take my recommendations for people whose research and the outward manifestation of their research lines up with where I'm at. So with that, I rock with you. You drop a book, believe it or not, I have a lot of people who message me constantly about books. Doesn't move me left or right. And every now and then I'll see a book and something in me, my spirit to say, I go get it. Now this last one was recommended to one of my Masonic brothers, DeAndre Apley. And so I had to get it, Hermetic Masonry. And I got this solely because I know that I am upon the Hermetic path. The Hermetic path in Kabbalah being the Sephira hold. Oh, this is dope. I'm just looking at the images already. You know what? I'm going to go back. Like I always do. I'll be moving too fast. Let me go back to the Tarot Court because I didn't even go through the inside. My bad. My bad. Tarot Court by Mary K. Greer and Tom Little. Special topics in Tarot. Foreword by Rachel Pollack. And that's another thing. If you find a book you like, after you read it, you go back and you order all of the books in their bibliography. Well, not all. You pick a few. I first got this tip decades ago in the early 90s when I read 48 Laws of Power by R. Greer. That was as a young man, as you feel back then, I said 93. Might have been 92. 93, between 92 and 94. I know Bill Clinton was in office, and Bill Clinton was on the MTV show with the kids. I forget for the youth. It was a show specifically for the youth. And they asked him, what two books are you reading right now? And he said, on my nightstand is Devil in a Blue Dress and the 48 Laws of Power. So me being who I was then and who I am now, I instantly went out and got me a copy of Walter Mosley's Devil in the Blue Dress and the 48 Laws of Power. Devil in the Blue Dress was dope. If you haven't read the book, definitely check out the movie. The movie did the book justice. And the 40 Laws of Power was so mind-blowing that after I read it like 3 times, I needed more of the information that he got. And I went to the bibliography and I began to buy almost every book out of the bibliography. So in her bibliography, she has Paul Foster Case as the third, a key to wisdom of the ages. So it tells me I'm on the right path. L'Amado Duquette, Tarot, Ceremonial Magic. This is giving me some more ideas. Bill Butler, Dictionary of the Tarot, etc., etc., etc. So let's go through the. She has several different books on Tarot, Tarot Mirrors, Tarot Constellation, Tarot for Yourself, Revised Edition, Complete Book of Tarot Reversals, Mary K. Greer's 21 Ways to Read a Tarot Card. So she's about that action. That tells me alone that she's an authority of sorts on this topic and worthy of being read. Foreword by Rachel Pollack. Chapter 1, The Many Faces of the Tarot Court. Chapter 2, the Court Card Family. Chapter 3, The Court and Society. Chapter 4, The Court Within. Chapter 5, Court Card Relationships. Chapter 6, The Court Card and the Cosmos. Relationships are important. You'll learn that most of these concepts we deal with are not intended to be dealt with singularly. It's like somebody who focuses solely on astrology. Well, if you don't have Tarot and Kabbalah to add to that, actually it's like you're running a race with one leg pent up and 2 arms behind your back. You're kind of hobbling, no matter how raw you are. You should have everything should be used in tandem. So having said that, let's go to Ted Andrews, Pathworking. And let me see his bibliography real quick. You always find the bibliography at the very back of the book. And he has his own books listed. Simplified Kabbalah Magic, More Simplified Magic, Secret Doors of Kabbalah, Frater Albertus, 7 Rays of the QBL, and Dolores Ashcroft Norwicki, Franz Bardon, Key to the True Kabbalah, Paul Foster Case, David Godwin, Kabbalistic Encyclopedia. So I'm just reading through this and I'm seeing all the books referred to are books that I have. And so I'm interested to see how this particular author tied it together. And in the table of contents, we have the Mystical Kabbalah, which I'm sure is he tipped his hat to Dion Fortune by saying that's the part 1. Entering the Tree of Life, the Power of Eye Magic, or I'm sure he means imagination, the Temple of Knowledge, Symbols, Images, and the Magical Body. Part 2, the Sacred Paths, the 22 Paths of Wisdom. Part 3, Touching Greater Power, Pathworking in the Trees, Creating Astral Doorways, Pathworking Techniques, the Holy of Holies, Amplifying the Effects, Grounding and Protection, Validating your experience. Ooh, that's saying it all. That's something I've been saying recently in different interviews I've been doing. You have to validate your experience. Most of us listen to someone on YouTube, or we follow them on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and we rock with that person. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna say anything otherwise. However, there is the potential for you to elevate their experience above your own. And this is something I went through personally, because I used to be big on Paddock, big on Bobby Hemmett, and I would hear these dudes talking about their astral experiences and the different channels they got, and I wanted the same. And I didn't realize until I started doing the actual work that I literally wanted the same. I wanted to have the same experience as them. I wanted to have the same downloads and challenges as them. And that's not what it is. You have to validate and appreciate your own experience. Now, Frank C. Higgins, Hermetic Masonry. Um, the images alone, bomb. Very first page, he has an image. Looks like the caduceus. We have the twin serpents with the Masonic square and compass. You ain't safe, partner. I might just have to jack you for that. When did he write this book? Let me see. Does it say? Well, it gets right down to business. When I say right down to business, I mean rizzle, dizzle to bizzle. So let's go to the index. He gets right into it, the beginning of masonry. There's another bomb image right there. You see the quartered circle. Remind you anything else? Reminds me of it reminds me of Noble Drew Ali's Circle 7. Summer solstice, autumn equinox, winter solstice, spring equinox. Read this one little paragraph here. The ancient cosmic science, of which Freemasonry is the modern survival, gives the date of its inception as that at which the above cardinal signs commenced their reign, vis-a-vis 3995 BC, commonly reckoned as 4000 BC, which, added to the current year, gives us our Masonic date. This is a book I definitely need. This reading this the index is making me say I must drop something I'm reading, but I'm not. That's why I said earlier that I'm actually gonna put off releasing my next book just so I can devote a minimum of a year to doing some more research and truly building on what I started. I don't want to become one of those authors that just drop books that are just regurgitating old information. I like to bring new information. Or not so much new, because there's nothing new under Tifereth, right? I like to bring different angles of light. So with the frontispiece, which is the zodiac in 4000 BC, Van Propos, first books of Masonry by Victor Hugo, beginning of Masonry, Theosophy of Masonry, the Ancient Mysteries. So by him using Theosophy, we can kind of narrow down his time frame, which would be late 1800s, early 1900s, late 19th century, early 20th century. He uses Theosophy. Around that time, all of them were osophies. What was Rudolf Steiner? And anthroproprophecy. They were all offices, theophacy, But yeah. This is definitely going to be a very interesting book. And I'm not going to be surprised if I find a way to squeeze it in what I'm reading right now. So, having said that, I'm gonna say let's wrap this lightweight unboxing up. We got to give it a name. I'm gonna call this one most likely lightweight homework unboxing, because all these books represent homework. So thank you again for your time. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share. I am definitely going to roll right over into the tarot correspondence and take it from there. But thank you so much, and we're going to make it do what it do. Peace.